Hi, Renee. I'm just going to go over your week 3 and try to answer your questions that you've asked me in here. Um, so, I don't be self conscious about over editing. I think that you're really good about that. I think, from what I've seen in your images so far, don't stress out about that too much. I mean, like you said, when you first start, you kind of it's like you get like hyper excited about actions. And I mean, I look back at my stuff when I first started and I'm embarrassed. I'm just like, oh my gosh, lots of like way over editing, so I totally get that. I think like this image is like one of my favorites that I've seen of yours so far. I really, really love it. I love the kind of darker look to it. Like it totally suits that you've got this guy who's a senior, because I think guy seniors are like really hard to shoot. So I think this is awesome. Totally, totally awesome. And I think that you totally, you didn't like over edit his face. Like one of the things that I was taught when you're editing skin and someone's face is to only get rid of things that are temporary, and that's where people go wrong with over editing. So like you left the scar, you left his, his moles and freckles or whatever. You just got rid of the things that were kind of, like the zits, or, you kind of softened up his, his eyebrows here, and like he looks so good, he looks really, really good. So, I think you did a really great job on that, like for sure, and I think he'll love it because of it. So, fab job on that. I love this shot. Like I said, if I had to pick anything, I would only say that I would want this tree to just be a little bit lighter, but that's it. Only because, um, you know, there's quite a chunk of it that's light, and it's slightly distracting. I mean, this is minimal. Um, I would just lighten this up just a little bit. I mean, like I said, not a ton, because it is still part of the darker look to this image, which I love. I really, really like the editing in this shot. It's very natural, but it's like still got some style to it. So I really like it. Yeah, really good job on that one. And then this shot as well. I love this. And this is exactly how I would crop this image. I really think you did a perfect job on cropping it. And like you said, reading on in the things that you said, you do want to crop your image like how you see it. You don't want to be, you don't want to have, you want to crop in camera. You don't want to be cropping later and going, because it steals from, the resolution of your image. You really want to be shooting how you want it cropped, if that makes sense. So you don't want to have to be doing that later, really. But I really like this. I like that it's kind of nice and bright. I like the softness in the foreground. I like, this is totally like money for me right here. This is something that, like, if it was my shot, I would totally frame. Um, Again, if I had to be nitpicky, it would just be this, just that we've got like a man crotch going on. Like, it's totally something that when I, like, if I had taken this shot and I brought it home, I'd be like, oh, because the shot's perfect. And really, that's only something that maybe a photographer would notice, is, this, because it's not a big deal because it's a guy. But, like, if you had him drop his hands down just a touch, it would have been that much more perfect. Because sometimes that can be a little bit of a distracting element. So, that's my one. I mean, again, it's just nitpicky, but it is little things to think about. It's hard to do that when you're like in the middle of shooting a session, and like I said, you get back and you go, oh crap. So before you start like shooting away, really kind of like take a step back, and I mean like not a literal step back, but like just stop and like look in your frame and look at everything in there, every single solitary thing in there. And then you can find that those things that are nitpicky will come to you. So That's what I do and have found that really, really helps me. But again, I still really, really like this shot. I think it's great. Love the editing on it as well. Very subtle, light, but it's nice. Okay, and then this one. Love this. I love the like realness of this. I love the brightness of it. I love, love, love the bokeh. I think the crop's really good as well. Like, this is definitely how I would crop it. Yeah, you could have taken one further away. It would have just made a different image, and it probably would have been great. But like, this is great. Catching the emotion as it is. I wouldn't change it. I really wouldn't. The only thing that like, again, this is nitpicky, but this is totally because of the time of day that you're shooting, but it is a little bit hot right here. And you could maybe do, I mean, it looks like there's detail that has already been lost. It's not a problem for this image because you can already tell that it's light. You know, it's light on his hair, it's light through here. You can see that it's really bright. You know, that would be something that I would probably try to at least somewhat fix in RAW. I would try to kind of pull back a little bit in that. You know, that was probably just maybe a one-stop difference that could have maybe saved that. And then I would have fixed her arm right here, because she's obviously a pretty thin person, but it's just, you know, because her arm's kind of coming out right here, I would kind of have just pushed that in a little bit. Yeah, definitely liquefy there. But again, I love the images. I have to say, Rennai, like, these are my favorite images that you've put in so far. I really, really love these. These right here, so far in what I've seen of your work, this is quality. This is what you want your clients to be seeing. This is really, really good. So loving this week for sure. Really, really great stuff. And I'm even more excited to see your last week of images, because these are really great. So fab job. And let me know if you have any questions. You can post it in the forum. And I will be happy to answer. Thanks so much, Rennai. Bye.